Hi, my name is Bani Kamra, and I'm happy to be here today as a prospective member of the Law Accounting team. Today, we're thrilled to introduce our esteemed guest, Jessica Hull, who brings a wealth of knowledge in both legal and accounting domains, offering a comprehensive perspective that harmonizes our professional landscapes. Hi, Jessica. It's a pleasure to meet with you today, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Let's get to know you a little better. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, including your role within your organization? I understand you're originally from Little Rock and attended St. Louis University.
That's right. I grew up here and moved to the Midwest for college. I went to St. Louis University and lived around the Midwest for about, I don't know, 10 or 12 years or so before making my way back to Little Rock. So this is definitely home. And then currently I am the CFO of our law firm, WhLaw.
Can you tell me more about your background? Like what got you into law?
Sure. I always knew that I wanted to go to law school, but when I was at university, it just wasn't the right time. So I studied for the LSAT and actually sat for it, but it just wasn't in the cards at that point. I went and pursued a career as a CPA. I was in public accounting for several years and then ultimately went back to law school when I had four kids and already had one career. It was definitely a late in life change, but it worked out. And I feel like I'm using both my CPA and law degree in the role that I'm in now.
Is there any aspect when you were in, like when you became a CPA, which motivated you to transition from being a CPA to pursuing a career in law?
Yeah, I guess you could say I married into law. My husband is a lawyer. He founded WH Law in 2013. And he would come home every day talking about cases and the legal field. And it just got me really interested. I've always loved learning about the law. And so when he would talk about it all the time, it was like, oh, I think I should pursue this. So it was being married to him that kind of got me back into my interest in the law. And he was the one that encouraged me to go to law school, actually. It worked out and here I am.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tell me, when your husband would tell you about these cases, was there anything that really ignited your interest, like any aspect specifically of law that you found most fulfilling? And what was your vision of like how you would aim to make a difference for your future clients?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit cliche, but I was really interested in the law because of the way that you get to help people. Like everyone at some point is going to have a run-in with the law, whether that's through criminal charges, unfortunately, whether it's going through a divorce, whether it's losing a loved one and having to go through the probate process. Like everyone's life kind of interacts with the law and is guided by that. So when he would come home and talk about these cases, it was really like the human aspect of it that interested me because you see people who are going through really tough situations and there's a lot of opportunity to help them through that you don't really get in other fields of study. That was definitely something that drew me into the law firm.
So, when you talk about this human aspect, I know in your videos on your website, you mention that, hey, we're not lawyers, we're just people with a law degree, like normal people with a law degree. And you also said we will walk in your boots. So, could you share the story behind what you said in these videos and your website and your organization's journey?
Sure. One of the things that Brandon at WH Law that we focus on is we're not just lawyers, we're real people too. And we want the law to be accessible to everyone because it does impact so many people's lives. It was really important for us for our clients and for other people to know that, look, we're not any different than you guys. I think there is a stereotype of lawyers out there who sit in mahogany offices and nice fancy chairs and talk down to people. That's not what we want people to be afraid of or experience here. Our tagline is boots, not suits, because if you come into our office, you will rarely see someone wearing an actual suit, unless, of course, they have to go to court. But we're pretty casual here. We want people to feel welcome and we want to be approachable. And I think that's what we've done through our law firm.
What I've understood so far is you guys are pushing more of a human aspect, a more approachable, a more friendly aspect. Hey, we're people, we're not numbers. Could you provide any example of how WhLaw specifically is making legal services more accessible to clients?
We've got a few things that make us more accessible. First, there's a bunch of free courses on our website. So if you're interested in just learning about the law, we have a whole section about it's called, oh, I should know the name of it. There's an acronym on our website, but basically it's somewhere where anyone can go to get more information about the types of cases that we cover. So that's one thing that we do to make the law accessible to anyone, not just our clients. As far as our clients go, I think we make it more accessible because we want to make it more convenient to them. We can't change court dates or requirements in that regard, but we give people an app that they can log on to see their case documents, to manage, to talk to their case team. And it's just a place that really provides some information that other law firms don't have. So we want to make it as easy as possible.
So, when you talk about these apps and like your website, is there anything in your background, such whether including your CPA background or your business background, that influenced your approach when you serve your clients?
I don't know about my background specifically. I don't, Brandon is definitely the brains on making it accessible and doing the technology to make our clients' lives easier. But my background as a CPA, I was able to see a lot of different businesses and how, their approach to clients. I would see the most efficient ways that businesses would interact with their clients. So something as simple as being able to schedule online, go to a website, click a date, click a time, and get an appointment. That's not really available on a lot of law firms' websites. That's available for us because we know that we want everything to be done at the click of a button or through text message, just in the way you want everything right now is a matter of convenience. And we want to be as convenient as possible for our clients and potential clients.
Thank you for sharing your background. I'm really astounded by the diversity in it. I wanted to talk more about your law accounting product specifically now. So, could you tell us about your experience using our new baby law accounting system as a CFO in your organization, and how has it impacted your workflow and productivity?
Yeah, I love that you called it a baby software. Is that what you said, a baby
Yeah.
software? That's funny. It's been I feel really privileged to be involved in law accounting early on. And this is a product that has impacted my day-to-day, certainly, but also the day-to-day for all of the people that work here because it's made things easier. Yeah, just as a little bit of background, we started this implementation project because we weren't happy with the accounting software that we were using. And it was something that integrated well with Salesforce, which is our platform, the previous software, but it wasn't customizable to what we needed. And it certainly did not take into account all of the nuances of being a law firm. Law accounting understood that there was some shortcomings to the accounting softwares that were offered, and they came up with a solution. This whole process started when Vikram and I sat down and he said, okay, show me how you work. Show me how you do these accounting entries. And Vikram, he was great. He was like, oh my gosh, you have to go through all of that just to do one simple thing. That shouldn't be so difficult. And so he was able to really come up with a solution, and the whole law accounting team was able to come up with solutions for all of the pain points for our existing accounting software.
What I got from this is that your life got easier with the system.
Yes,
Could you just
definitely.
be a little more specific? And I'm going to ask, like, how did it help you in your day-to-day tasks? What did you find most intuitive in the system?
Yeah, the way we operate is we have a lot of clients and a lot of transactions on a daily basis. So when you're talking about hundreds of transactions per day, our lives are made so much easier when those transactions can happen automatically and with fewer clicks. one of the ways that Law Accounting has simplified things, just as an example, is they created an entire system around our being able to upload multiple receipts, for example. Instead of having to enter information one at a time, they allowed us to do like batch uploads that were specific to all the individual cases. One of the other things that they've done that has been incredibly helpful is they added a little, and this sounds very nuanced, but this just speaks to them really hearing what our pain points were and helping with that. They added a button so that we could easily transfer money from one matter to another. We have a lot of clients that have multiple cases. And so instead of having to do 3 or 4 different entries, journal entries, the Law Accounting development team made a quick little screen that comes up that transfers money automatically. So I think those are a couple of examples of like where those day-to-day tasks that we have to do just become so easy and so intuitive.
When I asked you this, you shared a lot of instances where, for example, like the data entry is becoming one screen. That I'm assuming that saved you a lot of time.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you on the same realm. Do you have any instances where the system saved you any costs? I know time is money, but did it reduce any costs previous compared to your previous methods?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head when you said time is money, because my time is certainly part of that cost aspect. One thing that Law Accounting is going to implement for us is LA Pay, and that's going to save us. Right now, we are spending so much money on transaction costs, like just third-party softwares that are having to process payments. And so we're in the process now of getting LA Pay, which is going to save us real dollars. So that's one example. Second, Law Accounting is it's much less expensive than the other option that we were using. So it was a no-brainer to go with them, because we were paying for a very large accounting software. I'm not going to use names here, but it's a common one that people use when they are law firms in Litify. And that software has so many features that we just don't use and we don't need. So we're paying for those on the previous software. And ultimately, it's just a higher cost. Law Accounting, on the other hand, gives us only what we need, gives us kind of the custom solution, and it reduces the real cash that we have to spend on software.
So when you say it gives you only what you need and gives you the custom solution, can you talk more about that? I'm going to ask you like how have you found it customizable and how have you found it customizable to meet the specific needs of your legal practice and how scalable is it as your organization grows?
As far as I'll answer the scalability first, like scalability, this system is built for small law firms, and it's built for us to grow. So that is the way that the system is set up, and all of that customization it's poised for growth. Absolutely. The things that we've done that, like the customization, for example, I'll give two examples. One is we wanted our lawyers who are not necessarily as well versed in accounting as me to have access to all that financial data. The Law Accounting team made sure that everyone in the firm, not just the accounting staff, but everyone in the firm can have access to see how much has been paid into a case, or how many expenses have gone out, how much time has been billed, how much does that client owe us. So they're making sure that the efficiencies don't just stop with the accounting team, but that everyone in our organization has visibility. So that was one way that they customized it directly for us. And then the other thing that they've done is they made sure our whole system is built on automations. Like as soon as someone misses a payment, we want a text to go out to that client that says, "Hey, do you need to update your card?" The Law Accounting team took all of these manual processes that we were doing and made sure that the accounting side of things really talked to the automation and kept our workflow as automated as possible.
So you talked a lot about finances and how the law accounting system, basically what I understood from this, how it helped streamline your financial management processes. Can I ask you, how did it help you generate insightful financial reports and analytics to support your decision making within your organization?
That's a great question. This is specific to our org. We do all kinds of law. We do what we lovingly refer to as normal people law, divorce, bankruptcy, labor, probate, the things that no one wants to go through, but unfortunately, a lot of people have to go through. Because of that, we have a bunch of different case types. Within, for example, family law, we have adoptions, we have divorces, we have paternity actions, we have guardianships. All of those case types under the family law umbrella, we want to be able to analyze and say, okay, which cases are making us money? What cases do we need to raise the price? What cases are closing the quickest? Like basically all these decisions that we're making from a business perspective are going to be based on whatever the financial data shows us. So LawAccounting and the way that they helped us through this is they were able to take all of the transactions that go through our system and classify them according to both the practice area, labor, bankruptcy, family law, and by case type, divorce, guardianship, adoption. So we can get really granular as to what is the financial information for as broad as the whole firm or as narrow as an individual case type.
I have asked you a lot of specific questions now, and I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to ask you a broader question. Obviously, from this conversation, everyone can tell that you've had a lot of experience with our system. I'm sure
Mhm.
you've used customer support at some time or another. I'm going to ask you, what was your experience with our customer support and training services and helping you optimize the use of our system?
Customer support was actually the reason that we wanted to get rid of our old accounting software. Anytime there was a little bug in our previous software, there was literally no way to get in touch with anyone other than submitting a support ticket and waiting 4 days to get a response. And to me, that's just not acceptable. We're a fast-moving business. Everything is fast-moving now. So we wanted someone that was really responsive to support. I think the LawAccounting team has been incredibly responsive. Sometimes they probably wanted to kill me because I would change my mind 3 or 4 times a week. But every time I reached out, they not only responded timely, but they would also set up calls to discuss further. During the development process for a while, I feel like we were meeting 3 or 4 days a week, but that was what was necessary when we were trying to push it out. And I felt like the team that was in place really heard what we wanted and what we needed. And they were incredibly responsive to all of those requests, even when they were ridiculous. I will totally take the blame for that. But the team was really supportive and really gave that customer service level that you would expect from like a top-notch provider.
I'm happy to hear that you like our customer support, and it goes to show how important customer support is, especially
Yes.
when you needed it, the three to
Yes.
four times a week. But yeah, so my next question is just a general, how satisfied are you on a scale of 1 to 10 with the system, everything and anything I asked you? And what improvements or additional features would you like to see in the future to future enhance your experience?
Gosh, I hate 1 to 10 scales because I'm a tough judge, but I would say overall, I would give the product a 9. I think for a while it was anytime you do a software, if you haven't done a software implementation, let me just say this process is not easy. This was my second one, and LawAccounting made it way easier than the first time around. But it's a tough process and it takes a lot of planning and a lot of really like foresight into what you want to happen. So there were definitely some bumps in the road. I definitely take the blame for a lot of them because it was a new experience for me. But by the end, so there were some days where I wanted to give them a 2 and throw in the towel, but they stuck with it. They made sure that everything was up to the right standards, and now I think we're at a 9. As far as further improvements go, I really am looking forward to LA Pay. I have seen kind of some prototypes and some sandbox examples of what this is going to be. And I am so excited to be able to roll this out because it's going to really streamline our payment process for our customers. And so that's forthcoming. I know it's in development. Other things I'd like to see are better formatting on exports. As an accounting background, I like to go back into Excel. That's my safe place. And being able to export everything into Excel in a more formatted manner is something that I've talked to the team about, and they're working on developing. That's an enhancement that I'd like to see.
All right, as we wrap this up, is there anything else you would like to share about your experience with law accounting that we haven't covered yet?
I think, I hope that everything I said has really echoed this, but I think the biggest thing I would like to impress on people who are considering changing or looking at different softwares is you want something that works for your system. And the law accounting team, they never said that we can't make that work. They were so flexible with the product that they offered. When something didn't exist, they literally built it out of nothing for our org, which was incredible. Just the level of customization and the support that we received throughout the whole process is really above and beyond what you would expect. I consider us a small business, right? There's only about 50 people at our law firm. And so we don't get that individualized attention from a lot of our vendors. But Law Accounting gave us that and made sure that we were happy with the product. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm glad you like our team. My last question to you is, I've asked you a lot about law accounting and our system. Now I'm going to flip the question to you. Where can our listeners find more information about you and your organization?
Of course, online, we have really cool videos and we're really proud of those. You can visit us at wh.law. And there's some fun things on our website. You can blow up some suits, play a little video game. You can watch some cool videos. And we actually have a chat bot that provides legal, I'm going to say advice, but it's just AI basically. So it's fun to play with.
And
And
I
that
think I can
website, oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I don't even know if I said the website. It's wh.law.
No, you did say it. I was gonna say I totally vouch for this website. I've been on it and it was really fun to interact with and the videos that are on it. It's great. Totally vouch
Yeah.
for it. Yeah. All right. That was the end of it. And I just wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to you and coming here today. And thank you for sharing your insights and experiences with us. Your perspective has been incredibly valuable, and I'm grateful for your time and openness. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right.